bad with names, bro.
Morning.
Hey, do you have any
What's going
meetings
on?
today?
I think Patara is trying to get in for one.
That is right. Oh my god, that reminds me, fucking Wu Chang. I think Party Hardy's got to just put in his like
application and transfer it after the fact.
Yeah, exactly. Because otherwise, he's just cucking himself.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, I'll talk to him. We got to talk anyways about the event. So.
Okay. Yes. I also hit up Bailey about because like all fucking tax shit passed, but hold on.
Yeah, the 3 test. I know. I was wondering about that.
I'm gonna go back because I could have sworn Angel said that after 3 days you can post it, but like I don't want to. Everything's
overstep. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But it's been since it's past. It's almost been a week.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I remember her saying that, but I mean, who knows what kind of mood she's in today, so.
I might just do it.
I mean,
because I'm getting like kind of conflicting like answers to it.
We asked Bailey about
let's just be straight. Wait,
Yeah.
Did we? I asked him. I asked him again.
Yeah.
He's waiting for clarifying. Because
Okay.
the problem is that we're living now. The problem is that when you're not using, if you're not using the Constitution and deriving out like thoughts based on shit that's written down, you're literally could say one thing one day and another on another, and if you don't have receipts, it's good game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because then you get you now get to make up a new you know, you could not even do it maliciously. It's just that's the problem is do you think there's anyone outside of like maybe 5 people that are even capable of doing this shit?
Because the DOJ job? I mean, I'll be very honest with you. It's something that requires someone to inherently not have bias and not try and make it political.
Well, forget bias, right? For a second, you still need to have a basic understanding of
legislation, yeah,
and
ethics, for that matter. Yeah, listen, I don't envy the job because you're basically the human shield, right? So I don't envy it, but you can't make every piece of legislation about you, and you certainly can't make it about you and your friends. You know what I mean? It's not your story. It's the respective mayor's story and the citizens of Los Santos. So
I mean, I'm talking specifically about the concept of. Were you ever at the Soze case?
No, I wasn't. No.
You should watch a video copy of that someday.
Yeah.
Because it'll give you an idea of how this whole like epic started. And the most sad thing about it is that people don't like July 3rd wasn't Mr. K rushing the courthouse. But I feel like that's what people might actually think when it was much broader.
Yeah.
You know? And as a side effect, you know, there's a saying about like, if you don't know history repeats itself.
Of course.
You know? And it's crazy how that's effectively what, you know, summarizes what's happening right now.
Yeah, it's too bad. I flew into the city for the first time. I think it was just before July 3rd.
Yeah.
So I didn't really get the context firsthand. It was so fresh to me. But I'll do that. I'll look for a documentary on it and give it a watch.
Yeah. Okay. All right. When Patar comes through, he comes through. I don't even know what he submitted, if I'm going to be honest.
Oh, I'm assuming it's Pat's Mats, which is the material business he's been running forever.
Oh, yeah. I see it here.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
So he's been like, I don't know, on a different schedule than us or what it is, but you know, I'll get a message from him, I'll reply, and then I'll hear back like 6 hours later. So
All right,
Either
easy.
he has something up or whatever, but I'll let you know and I'll get something booked in.
All right, sounds good.
All right, talk to you later.
Separately,
Oh, go ahead.
this is going to be. Yesterday, I was fielding a lot of these. It's not even yesterday. It's actually been over the course of like the weekend. Is I don't know what poisoned the pool, specifically, but I will say it kind of came to a head when I got called down by the mana by SK, very late for him, and he told me that cops keep coming down to their block where there's like starting shit, like verbally.
Oh, like on the aggressive.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like the way he was describing it, it sounded like they're trying to like bait themselves to get shot type shit. You know what I mean?
Did they have cameras set up on their block?
No. I mean, they can't because they I mean, you can't be a felon. You need the news rep, you know?
Right.
But, so these guys haven't come to me like this, so it kind of like stands out. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And they're saying like, I wish the conversation wasn't so late at night because like I'm having trouble like remembering some of the details. But it really boiled down to like, you know, there'll be like one guy slinging dope and they're coming through with like 6 units, right? And
well, that's a consistent story I've been hearing for weeks.
Really?
Oh yeah, it'll be like one person on a block and the entire active PD will roll out.
Yeah. Well, and that's what they sort of described is like the problem is there'll be like one guy selling dope and then all of a sudden they're coming in 6 deep, but then on top of that shit talking and like you know,
yeah,
either
baiting
in conjunction or like separately, like, oh, you're lucky I don't got my crew down here, we fucking clap you type shit, you know what I mean? So what they told me is like, what do you expect we're gonna do? You think we're just gonna sit there and let you G-check us on our thing, right? And that's reasonable, right? Like,
sure.
So they're gonna blast, but the problem is they go do that, now all of a sudden you got like fucking 30 units up your ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So they're kind of being put into, the way I would describe it is they're being put into an impossible situation where like I hate these conversations so much because because it's knocking on like that dangerous wall here.
Yeah.
It's like,
no, I know what you mean.
Where this is going is, what do you expect them to do? Go to sleep? Like,
yeah.
You know?
No, you're
like,
not wrong though.
And like I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, they're fucking flipping, right? But you're putting them into this impossible situation where there is no other outcome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's just like, well, just stop selling dope, right?
Yeah.
Is the expectation, but it's like, what? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you remember
like,
where we live?
Exactly.
Right.
But then you throw on the shit talking, and it's kind of like, well, like, it's kind of like coming in, and that started giving me flashbacks over this whole like Cypress shit we're seeing, because it wasn't for like an hour, it was like for 2 or 3 days.
Right.
And then what do you think other people are gonna see it as? Right?
Yeah.
You're seeing it as like you're suiciding your cops on Twitter, right?
Yeah.
And saying like, come in, like, what are you gonna do? Come and shoot us, see what happens.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's happening now? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I think some of that mental is driving down. So it's very hard to like not being involved, but I don't know. You know, there is a possibility, playing devil's advocate, that this is like consenting, like, for example, between some of the parties.
Sure.
But the optics of it for everybody else is fucking bad.
Yeah.
Especially the way that it was described to me, because I talked to some of the, like, these guys got hit with some crazy fines as well. Yeah. $500,000 here, $1 million there. It's just crazy.
Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, it's bad.
Is this after the ramp up of the fines from Angel, or like pre that?
Pre. Which, by the way,
Holy
she still
shit.
haven't swapped it back.
Well, color me surprised.
Bro, like, I don't even understand. Like, what the fuck? Like, it's just, it's so triggering because it's like, your job isn't as hard as you make it out to be. Like, I'm sorry.
It's really not. Yeah.
It's hard because you're showing up for like 2 hours and then dipping for God knows how long.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? You like read a thing of legislation, right? You follow like the fucking recipe, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I like, bro, like with this thing is with the thing that pisses me off the most. It's like we're talking about a slider and its percentages and like giving me this whole thing and the charges is still fucked up.
Yeah.
And I made it very clear 125%. It's not it's just it gives me this like you're literally not listening, you're just talking.
Yeah. You know what? This is my opinion. Either she wants to be a justice or she wants to drive around and shoot tanks. And if she wants to drive around and shoot tanks, maybe she should just be a fucking marshal and step down.
Well, that's
I'm just
the thing.
saying.
Well, that's the thing that starts to scare me, right? Is like when you think of when we look at the entire picture. So I spoke with Den, right? Because I like him and I don't want to see him get fucked or wrapped into it or like everything pointing at him. I'm like, listen, Den, this is what's happening right now, and I don't, and he said he has no involvement with it or knows about it, and he only has a suspicion.
Right.
And so I said, listen, I'm telling you this because I don't want you to hear this from like the hallways. I am bringing this up to Daisy and Peters, right? I have to, right? Like,
yeah, of course.
That's their job. That's my job to bring it up to.
Right.
But like, I want you to know that this conversation's happening and a heads up, and you need to be vigilant about it. Because I then went on to say, because he named a couple cops, I'm like, well, you shouldn't just assume it's them because it may not be.
Right.
Because I don't even think it's necessarily happening around this time, right? Because there's shit talking when you're actively engaged with someone, right? Like, I don't think anyone's gonna like, you know what I mean? Like on a chase, whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's another thing going down there and looking for trouble.
Right.
Knowing that you're gonna wake up in the hospital and you're gonna have 25 cops. One of them is probably gonna dome them, and now all of a sudden you made some money.
Right.
I told them, like, the problem is that some of these fucking clowns that you call friends sought refuge in BCSO to escape accountability. Everybody knows it.
Sure.
And that some of this, like, fucking brain rot, whether it's the Cypress shit or whether it's, like, this lack of accountability shit, is going to seep into your department simply due to the fact that they come down here and do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Because if they wanted to ever join Blaine County to protect, the majority of those cops did not join Blaine County to be sheriffs.
No.
Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, no. They joined to be police officers with different colored uniforms.
Yeah, without any accountability by those who are meant to hold it accountable.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, let me go deeper. Is that why do you think they're so protected? Because that is the same mentality that is desired by the marshal's office. They want to literally just hunt fucking criminals.
Yeah.
I'm going to go as far as saying that it would not shock me if they have a fucking perverted fantasy of another July 3rd so they can pull out automatic weapons and tanks.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? That actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Thinking about it.
So it's just, you know,
I don't want to like tinfoil hat on you here, but I can totally see that.
Yeah,
that's a realistic. Yeah, exactly.
Right? Because we're already at that stage now. In the last 2 weeks, there's an increase of complaints coming to the mayor's office that fucking cops coming down and G-check. So I brought up to him like how much he might be blinded to this because I pointed out the Ventura shit, right? Between the shit that he's been involved with, the shit talking on Twitter, which you can round it off as like, this is just Carmine Costello, right? BCSO version. Yeah. But where I said where the line gets crossed is like, you're also talking to someone that's in your TRT unit, right? Carmine's not in TRT. Carmine's not he doesn't have rank. Yeah. You know? He doesn't have say. You have a Carmine that is effectively has responsibilities. And what he says to others publicly holds weight.
Right.
And so I brought up to him, I'm like, let me ask you a question, pose you this question. Is when Ventura is actively like memeing and shit talking in the midst of a funeral of Aziz, your friend.
Mm-hmm.
You tell me if you think that individual actually gives a fuck if he or his colleague get shot, as long as it means money for a BCSO account.
Right.
And I said it to him straight. This isn't a fucking scuff bronze Valorant lobby. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But some of these
mm-hmm.
motherfuckers treating it like that. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And if just because you want to like view this, like, you know, everything around you like that, it doesn't mean other people will.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
100%. Yeah. No. 100%.
So we'll see what he pops up with, but you know, like I don't know. It's getting it's getting very difficult to talk about these topics, quite frankly, because it's so egregious. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah. No, I mean, I don't blame you at all. I'll tell you straight up, I don't have high hopes. I mean, this is a legal system, you know, built on the foundation that is the DOJ, and the self-stylized Chief Justice wakes up every day and twats out, hey, feeling cute may stealth edit some legislation today. So, I mean, what kind of example are you setting? And really, how are you expecting all the departments below the DOJ to hold themselves accountable when the DOJ doesn't even do that? So what hope do we have, right? Not much.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, we should chat this evening. When are you gonna? Let's talk. We need to talk tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be around.
Yeah. Well, like, you know.
Yeah. I'll be around.
Okay. Easy.
Yeah.
All right,
just
Michael.
let me know. Yeah, we'll talk soon.
All right. Take care.
Ciao.
Oh, whoa. Haps. I'll call again in 3, 2. Paps video.